Greetings, chess aficionados. We continue our journey through Black's sidelines all the way up to the main line. Here we're going to look at, after the main line in the Italian game, Black deviates from normal, I would say normal, from the main moves with g6. So this is very, very uncommon, surprisingly uncommon, considering it's not really that bad. I mean, it does make a bit of a error in the opening in terms of the Black's bishop already has a window open, so to speak, or a door open, and we're opening another one as opposed to development. So, as I said, with most kind of off moves, so to speak, with like h6, a6, as per usual, we're going to play d4 straight away, attacking the center. But after Black takes, we're going to, instead of taking back with the knight, which is a perfectly fine move, and one of the main lines, we're going to get Black a little bit out of his own book by playing c3. So we're going to look at three moves here. So bishop g7 is by far the most common and the main move. But now we're going to actually take back with the pawn, and now we have two solid, strong guys in the center. And yeah, this is just quite a good position. Black probably doesn't want to develop his knight here because then we can kick it. So say he goes to e7 instead. We can actually kick this knight now. And yeah, we got two pawns in the center. The d pawn's blocking our bishop for now. But yeah, Black's position's a little bit awkward, and he has less central space. So yeah, we might castle kingside. We may play f4, maybe e5, and yeah, we just have a small but comfortable advantage. If Black doesn't bring the bishop back or castle, we could also put our bishop over here. This is pretty common to prevent Black from castling. And Black will probably have to spend another move bringing his bishop back to a more defensive position. So that's one variation. What if Black takes? Excuse me, not here. Instead of developing the bishop, what if he takes? So as we've seen before, and we'll see again and again, especially in the Evans gambit, queen b3 is a good move, and we're putting already pressure on the f7 pawn. This is certainly worth a pawn for us. Not only that, we're probably going to get our pawn back. Black doesn't want to go ahead and take here. We could just take on f7 and then recapture. So Black can defend here. Oops, can defend with the knight. Now we could take the knight straight away and then win the pawn, but even better is just castle first, because Black doesn't really have anything better than develop the bishop, and now we can take. So we basically made Black waste time with this, and yeah, this is clearly a very good position. Yeah, Black's king. Enough said is what I have written in my notes. Instead, queen e7 can be played, but again, we're just going to castle and take the pawn back. And yeah, actually, we are still a pawn down, but Black's position is very awkward. For instance, if the knight comes here, we can pin it and keep pressuring the knight. This pawn is immune because we can just take and pin the queen. So he might go after our bishop. So we'll move, keeping defense of the bishop. We are hitting the c7 pawn, although we probably don't want to go ahead and take that pawn. But we may well do. So c6, and now e5 is a good move. Just really stopping Black's expansion in the center, stopping the knight from getting out. Maybe the bishop will come in here, and we have a lot of compensation for the pawn. I'm just going to go a few moves deeper. You don't have to memorize more than this, but I'll just show you a fun sample line. So the knight comes out to the only square he can, and now the knight, our knight comes in here. This is common when the d6 squares weakens. We could potentially throw a check in there if Black doesn't castle. Keep in mind that this fork is never possible because we can just take on Passant. So black will castle, and so now we're hopping into f6, and looks like black can take twice, but keep in mind this knight will be hanging. So he moves. Now we're going to take this knight, pop in here, and all of a sudden, yeah, black's in a lot of trouble. If he just routinely moves the bishop back, it's actually going to be mate. So if he comes up with a king, oops, he loses his queen. So again, this is not to be memorized. It's just a fun sample line about how to take advantage of initiative. So um, taking is not really a good move. And what about d3? Black can try to give away the pawn this way, give the pawn back this way, and now our knight can't come to this square. But now we can hit the queen. And remember, black wants to put the bishop over here, not over here. But that's not necessarily going to be so easy. So say he does give up and put the bishop here, we can just actually tuck it back. And yeah, black is not really getting what he wants here. Keep in mind, we're a pawn down, but we can win this pawn back at any point, like now. And yeah, black's position is not objectively that bad. Here we're stopping bishop from pinning us. But this is probably not what black had in mind when he played g6. And yeah, here we got kind of like the Maroczy bind and the Sicilian. And again, the engine's not going to say white is completely winning or crushing, but we just have a comfortable position with more maneuvering space. So yeah, we're going to bring our knight out, and we got easy ideas to bring our rooks out, maybe our queen here, and we just have more space and a better position. So um, what if he blocks with the knight? Well, here we can annoy the rook, and all of a sudden black's idea of castling is out the window. And yeah, we've seen this familiar motif before. And actually, with the knight here blocking the queen, how the heck is black going to defend this square? I don't really see a way. Um, Not to mention, this is also going to be checkmate, for instance. Checkmate. So this is already dead lost. So knight e7 is absolutely not a possibility. And f6 is possible, but we can just tuck ourselves back to e3, and we're going to take this pawn. And again, this is not what black wanted to happen at all. He's going to have trouble castling. He's going to have trouble developing. Yeah, this is not what he wants at all. So so yeah, those are the main moves. Um, and yeah, not too much else to say. Black could also just ignore this pawn in fianchetto. And yeah, now we have a pleasant choice. We could either take or kick the knight away. But this line is not super critical. The main thing is to remember is just c3. Yeah, you'll face this very, very rarely, and it's not a very sharp or tactical line. Black's a bit down in development because he spent the time to play g6. So, but when you do face this line, hopefully you'll be excited to see it and remember your preparation. Um, Next video, this is video number 9. Next one is going to be on the Hungarian defense. By the way, I didn't mention a name for this because, as far as I know, this variation with g6 does not have a name. It's just the g6, 3g6 variation of the Italian. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.